Live streaming is on.
And we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let me just say podcast. I am your host, Ray. With me as always, we have Father.
You're
And we also have Dion.
Good afternoon, motherfuckers.
All right. And I've also sent the back signal out to other people because a lot of people did say, oh, they would tune in. So if they come, they come. They don't, they don't. But either way, we have the solid three. So on with the show. But before we get to it, since it is just us three are wrestling fans. Father, did you see what I put in earlier in the chat? It was about the U.S. Championship for the women's,
yeah, I see it.
and it was a list of it was a poll of who would you like to see as champion, and I think it was Michin, Chelsea Green, Naomi, and I forgot the fourth one,
Candice LeRae.
Candice LeRae, and shoot, 58% went to Naomi. And though I love the fact that 58% went to Naomi, I chose Michin. But I would like y'all opinion on that. Who would y'all like to see as U.S. champion?
My pick is Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green. Why would you say Chelsea?
That woman is one of the biggest workhorses, not just in the women's division, but in not even in WWE and wrestling in general. Give that woman something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but you could also say the same thing for Michin.
Exactly. Michin, she's like my female Sheamus right now. She's been putting on bangers after bangers after bangers after bangers, right?
That
And
dumpster match between her and Chelsea Green was hella fun.
yeah, and not even just with each other, but also on NXT. Like the hardcore matches she's been having with Jada Parker. I think she had one with Kalani. And then this joint she's done had with Nia Jax. Legion been putting in work. So I would love to see it to give. I think it should be given to the workhorses if they're going to treat it like the IC title or the if that's going to be the workers title. I think they should give it to
The mid card titles have always been kind of considered the workhorse belts. So yeah, why the fuck not?
And again, I love the fact that if Naomi does get it, I'll be happy for her. But if you want to ask me, I think they should give it to Michi.
To be clear, any of them four women would rightfully deserve it. Let's just put it that
I'm
way.
not sold on, okay, and this is just me. I'm not sold on Candice LeRae. I'm sorry. All right.
I'm have to disagree, only because her booking has been bad.
That's probably why I'm not so sold on her. Her book is bad. It's not her fault.
That might be the thing that swings a little momentum in her favor. As far as booking, let's put her in that title picture and see what the fuck happens.
Honestly, if you actually want to be more technical, Candice LeRae is more hardcore than Michin.
Yeah, because you got to consider Candice's history before WWE in the first place.
She had a crimson mask before. And I'm talking her entire face was bloody. And I think she was wrestling a nigga too.
I cannot.
And that girl is how tall and weighs how much now?
She's a little girl.
She's a tough, tiny little thing.
But it's only a matter of time. As for who should win it first, I'm gonna say Naomi. And that's only if she doesn't win the Royal Rumble or take the title from Nia. Or what also could happen is Tiffany Stratton can steal the title from Nia and Naomi can take it from Tiffany because Naomi and Tiffany have been beefing for a while.
I can see that happen.
Because Strat's going to take that from Nia. I'm calling that one now. That's coming up soon. She's going to take that belt off of Nia.
Yeah, but like Michin or Chelsea Green holding the title wouldn't be bad either. It can honestly go to any three of them and it'll be fine. So, and that's a good thing. That's actually a good thing because now you can build stories off of that, right? Like a lot of people think, the champions make the championship, but it's actually the other way around. Well, no. Actually, I said it
It,
wrong. So the
it's the person
champions
holding it
make
that
the
makes it relevant. Is
championship,
what you're
right?
trying to say?
Yeah, the champions make the championship, but and the biggest what's it called example of that is Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair because
I was
nobody
just
gave
about to
a
say that.
fuck. Yeah, nobody gave a fuck about the tag team titles until they started holding it, right? And then they started doing shit with Naomi too. So right now, like the women's tag team titles are hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think right now what you're seeing is WWE starting to use more women tag teams, right? But if you want to thank somebody for even paving the way for them the way that they did, you're gonna have to give kudos to Kaden Carter and Katana Chance because those two in particular have been really, really, really consistent when it comes to women's tag team wrestling.
They
You
they
feel me?
straight up revolutionized women tag team wrestling.
I wouldn't use the word revolutionize, but I would say that they made
When's the last
WWE give
time
a
you?
fuck.
I have yet to see, other than Jade and Bianca, I have yet to see a female tag team work as well as a cohesive unit than Katana Chance and Kaden Carter.
The
Kabuki
Kabuki
Warriors.
Warriors. We
Out.
here. Harlem Heat. Harlem Heat.
Thank you, Ray.
Kabuki Warriors. It's just, it's,
They slipped my mind. They did slip my mind. So
I
yeah,
don't know how
them
because
them
they'd be
two
the
things.
first person I would have thought about.
Also, Sasha Banks and Bailey. Like, come on.
Yeah. To be and like
I was
them
always
ones,
kind of up and
especially
down with them as a duo, but I kind of blame that on booking.
it was
Nah,
Vince.
I'm not blaming that on booking at all. Actually, they
I'm blaming
actually
that on
carried the
Vince.
company. If you remember the pandemic era, you remember Sasha Banks had the Raw Women's Championship and the tag team title, and Bailey had the SmackDown Women's Championship and the tag team title. They carried. They literally carried.
Oh yeah, they literally were the women's division.
They literally carried. That's why Sasha Banks got so fucking mad when her and Naomi were tag team champions, and them two was in the motherfucking 6-pack challenge trying to fight each other. And Sasha Banks is like, nigga, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that was some shit. That was some bullshit.
Yeah, so it's like, and again, it's not like the women's tag team championships were irrelevant. It's just that it was a victim of bad booking. And that's the difference between like a championship that's not really all that great versus a champion that's doing everything in his power to make it relevant. You know what I'm saying? So
And they
like
was
you just
trying
got to
to
keep
make
those
that
two in
relevant.
the yeah, because
That
irrelevant people think shit is irrelevant because it's booked bad, and that's like yeah, but at the same time, if it's booked good, then y'all gonna be the same ones talking about make this person a champion, make that person a champion, and it's like, bruh.
and you know what? What you just said, you just reminded me of a question I wanted to ask. So, what do you think of the people who are all of a sudden so fucking critical of Cody Rhodes?
Well,
In the
there's
words of
nothing to
Jerry the
think.
King Lawyer, fans are fickle.
In the words of Daniel Bryan, fickle.
Cody's been doing
I
amazing.
think
I don't see what the problem is. I don't see why people are talking shit
Dion,
about Cody all of a
Dion,
sudden. Cody's been doing amazing.
Dion, my brother Dion, stop listening to wrestling opinions. This was
yeah,
your
them the same
problem last time. Stop.
yeah,
Let
them
them
No,
the
talk.
same people that
this is
said
me going against the opinions because it's like
Yeah,
yeah,
but at the same time, you're only going against them because you're listening to them. Stop listening. Let
yeah, them
them
the same
niggas talk
people
into the void.
them the same people that said make Bianca Belair great again. I was like, she's been great. What are you talking about?
These are the
And
same niggas that are
wait,
sitting there
hold on,
talking
wait. When
about
was
that
this?
Jade Cargill is holding her
When
back.
was this? Wait. Rewind to what Ray just said. When were people saying this about Bianca? Make Bianca great again.
because she hasn't been in the title since like she lost it to Asuka, and everybody thinks she's like they've been booking her bad. In which I'm like, you are out your fucking mind. She's been like she's still a champion with Jay Cargill, and I don't think people look at women's tag belt like that until her and Jay Cargill like kind of like spruced up the tag
Bianca
division.
Belair. Bianca Belair was one of them wrestlers. The what do you say? A champion without a title. She didn't necessarily need it. She's motherfucking Bianca Belair. You
She's
see what the
Not
fuck
even
she
that,
undefeated at
she
do?
had a
WrestleMania.
3-year run. Which I was telling people, she had 3-year fucking run. What are you talking about? Make her great again.
She's undefeated at WrestleMania to this day.
That right. That too. And that's a big fucking deal.
So yeah,
To
and I
have
was
never
looking.
lost a WrestleMania match is a ginormous fucking deal.
So yeah, and I was looking at people like, "Are you fucking crazy?" It's like she's been killing it even without the
So who
title.
would you put under? So who would you put in that blank? Make so and so great again. Fill in the blank. Make blank great again.
I think wrestling's good where it's at right now. Nobody needs to be made anything great again. I think wrestling's very good right now.
Actually, no. Make the Street Profits great again. I'm giving that one to the Street Profits.
You know what?
Ooh.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
They have a title match coming up, and the only thing I'm going to say is, even if they lose to the Motor City Machine Guns, just make them look good.
I'm actually surprised they gave them the belts. I'm gonna be real with you, and I know they're good in other. They were very great in TNA. I'm just still kind of surprised they gave them the belts like that.
All right, Ray. I'm gonna stop you right there because the Motor City. Okay, first of all, you gotta understand these are former world champions. At least Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin won the world championship before.
Yeah,
So, yeah, like these two in particular have always been pillars in the wrestling world, right? A lot of that style that you're seeing them, they actually pioneered that style, especially in early TNA, because this is when AJ Styles and them was back there. So like, bro, TNA did a lot of shit for wrestling. The only problem with TNA is that it's booked as like a small time regional thing when really it's pretty big. You feel what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to the wrestling world, because they did shows with like New Japan, and they did shows with other places in Canada and shit like that. So like they're actually pretty big. The only real issue is that WWE, because it caters to the American mainstream. When you're talking wrestling, 99 times out of 10, you're probably talking about motherfucking WWE. So, you know,
The
when
only
they
thing
won
I
the
can
tag
really
team
say bad
titles,
about TNA, they had like every other company does. They've had some rough patches, and there's been a couple of things that's happened with TNA that's hurt the company real bad. But they've bounced back. They've always bounced back.
nigga, they survived Hulk Hogan. That's all you need.
but they
They
start
I
now.
don't
They
know
need to
how
start.
they
Hogan.
did it, but they
They
survived Hulk
survived
Hogan.
Hogan. They survived Bischoff.
Bischoff is not that bad.
Bischoff wasn't that bad. It's when they was trying to compete with WWE. That's when they was having problems.
Yeah, Bischoff is not that bad. The problem is Bischoff thinks that competing with WWE means you're gonna win, and it's like no, it's not. Another thing too that you have to understand about TNA is that TNA is supposed to cater to a whole different market other than WWE. So I don't even understand why they even try to compete with them in the first place. Look at AEW for example. Like I hate when AEW competes with WWE because you can clearly tell that the product is inferior. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that the talent is bad or anything.
Mm.
Y'all just don't have that riz like WWE do. You
Damn.
don't.
He
Like
has a
you
point,
cater
and then
towards
I'm
game,
AJ.
you cater
and
towards gamers and niggas who go to conventions. Like you ain't got that riz, bro.
and then, shit. AEW's going through a rough patch. The fuck.
This is what happens when you compete with WWE. When you don't compete with WWE, you do well. When you compete with WWE, that's where you start.
And the moral of the story is stay in your lane. That's the moral of the story. Stay
I
in
was,
your lane.
I was about to say because AJ Styles was big as hell without motherfucking WWE's help, and like when he finally came to the WWE, people knew who the fuck he was. He wasn't
Right,
like
right.
he had.
I knew AJ Styles before he debuted in that Royal Rumble. I was watching TNA at one point.
Yeah, I did too. I knew who he was before the Royal Rumble. That's why his debut is just as big as Jericho's in 90. Was it 99?
Oh,
He
I
had the
still
biggest.
remember.
He had the biggest debut. He had the biggest debut since Jericho. Ain't that right, Father? Uh, any last words
Yo,
before? Any last words before we move on to our yeah, what we here to talk about?
go ahead.
All right. It's been a long week. All right. Obviously, if we all know, we had days to sit and think about it, and Donald Trump will now be our 47th president from the next 4 years. All right, Kamala Harris lost. For most people, say
Ooh,
by a
shocker.
landslide, and a lot of things have conspired over these days since since Donald Trump won. So I would like to get to the panel. We're finally here. What is your opinion about what conspired this week?
Hey yo, can I make a wrestling joke real quick?
Go ahead.
Watching that motherfucking election was like watching Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. You knew deep down in your heart you wanted Undertaker to take it, but you also know Brock Lesnar was gonna take that shit. And lo and behold, look at what the fuck happened. Donald Trump is Brock Lesnar, and Kamala Harris was Undertaker. And everybody wanted Undertaker to win, but we all know the people who really watch wrestling knew that that motherfucker's time was over. And
Oh,
we just
Black
watched
Women
it.
was that one black guy in the
Seeing Kam-
stands with his
I'm a,
eyes
I'm
rolling.
Yeah.
a, I'm gonna do you one better. Seeing Kamala Harris lose that election was like watching your favorite side character in an anime die.
Poor Nancy.
That's what.
Shut
Ouch.
the fuck up, Ray. Don't ever, ever in your life
You're
compare Kamala
Yo,
Harris to
Nancy,
Black
my
women.
terrible for that.
yo, Nancy, my
You're terrible for that. Yo,
yo, Nancy, my man, the realest nigga in the Hugo Village. That's what I
you're
called.
you're terrible for that.
Wow, this shit.
It was
Oh
like
man.
watching. It was like watching. For me, it was like watching when Vegeta sacrificed himself against Majin Buu. You
Oh
you you had a feeling Majin Buu was gonna regenerate, but my nigga Vegeta.
man. So all of us ain't shit.
But honestly, though, like you could have seen it coming, to be completely honest with you. And it's just sad because I'm so tired of all women in particular thinking that they need to be in the front lines of every single motherfucking struggle. Like sometimes it's okay to sit back and relax and just watch the shit. Like all three of us did. We just sat back, relaxed, and watched.
I'm glad you said that because I want to address the motherfuckers who are talking about Donald Trump winning the election is black men's fault. I want to address that.
Go ahead.
So, to those who are making that statement, do you remember that conversation? Oh, would you want to be left alone in the woods with a man or a bear? Who do you think the bear voted for?
The bear was scratching his ass and was looking at y'all like, you got a motherfucking day in hell if you think I'm about to vote for any of these bitches.
Okay, so I'm the bear because I didn't vote for neither of these motherfuckers.
Oh, nigga, bruh. A
In
lot of
this
people didn't
situation,
vote
I'll
for him
happily
either.
be the bear who just minded his own motherfucking business, sitting in the woods chilling, while
Yeah,
everyone else was running around like chickens with their fucking heads cut off.
yeah, but like my thing is like, bro, even if you did go with the assertion that it was black men's fault, so then how about the fucking 62% of white people that voted for fucking Donald Trump? What about them?
Not to mention, don't women outnumber men population wise? So,
Yes.
you're gonna blame that on the minority? Really?
Yeah, they're gonna blame it on the minorities because it was their constituency in the first place. If you remember, a lot of Hispanics voted for Trump. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of them Hispanics voted for Trump.
Yeah, which if I'm being 100% honest, shocked the shit out of me, knowing with as hard as he's been trying to run Mexicans out this motherfucker.
It's not shocking at all, Dion. A
No,
lot of them are
Mexicans
white.
think they're white.
No, a
Mexicans
lot of
think
them
they're
think
white.
they're white. That's like a real thing. You have to remember, Hispanic is not a race, so they can't vote like the black community. The black community, they usually vote like in tandem because we are one race, right? But Hispanics are not one race. You can have black Hispanics, you got white Hispanics, you have native Hispanics. You like they're going to vote based on their own personal interests. That's why the vote is never aligned in the first place.
What we talking about?
You right.
Hey y'all.
Material like that into the chat. What up, B?
Hey y'all.
You jumped in the right time. We're talking about the election, and I just said Donald Trump is president. What are your thoughts of the whole election thing that what went down this week?
Well, you already know I'm big happy. Oh,
She
I mean,
big. She
that's
big
it.
headed.
hmm I'm shocked to see so many tears because of the numbers and the tears ain't adding up.
I just think there was some people that just wanted to blame black men just to blame black men.
Material life, I have a question for you. Who would you give the biggest donkey of the day to when it comes to this entire election?
Kamala and her team.
See, that's why I love material life.
They were. I'm sorry. I can't agree with that because given how short notice she had to put together a campaign, and she was dealt a bad hand. She
No, she
let's
was.
be blunt. She
See,
didn't really have a chance.
Dion's
no,
been on that for since
we're
day
not about
one.
to lie. Let's not
No,
pretend like she was
Dion been
dealt
saying that
a
since day
bad
one.
hand.
Dion been saying that since day one. He's been saying that since day one. He felt like Kamala
Thank
was going
you.
to be the scapegoat.
It was unfair.
It was
The
not
whole thing
unfair.
was unfair.
What
You
I keep
literally
saying,
you it takes years to plot and plan that type of shit. You give this woman literally a season.
She had
You
about
literally
100
give her
days.
just a summer to plot her moves and do XYZ. This isn't something you can do overnight like that.
so okay, we're not gonna pretend like she was given a summer. First of all, as VP, the fact that she tried to run before, that she had already had a plan before, right? And if you really feel like
Yeah,
this
that
is
was when
something
she ran the first time.
yeah, but she,
That's when she tried to
you
run
don't
the
just
first
wake up
time.
one day and all of a sudden you don't want to be president no more. Like this must have been a dream for her for a while. She had plans for America. Like you can't just pretend like, oh, okay, because I'm standing in VP
Bernie
role right
Sanders
now.
changed his
But
mind. The fuck?
if she was being honest with people about what her plans was, then people would be honest about the whole situation. She did not speak on her plans. Her whole campaign ran against, baiting on emotions of how much people hate Trump, and
And
everybody was asking
that's
her the
all she
same
was
thing.
able to really do. She didn't really have time to formulate a plan. That's what I'm saying.
I First of all, she had ample time. She spent barely any time as VP, so she had nothing but time.
I still think that the shit was unfair. Trump had the unfair advantage in that shit. It ain't even had nothing for me. It had nothing to do with her being a woman. It had nothing to do with her race. Nothing, I'm leaving all of that aside. Even with all the jokes I was making before, I'm casting all of that aside. It's certain things you just can't do on a moment's notice.
It's not. First of all, if it's something you want so bad, a plan would be formulated. When I said a plan would have been formulated, that plan, I would have been. Let me tell you, when you want something so bad, like you breathe, sleep, and eat this all day long. So I know she had a plan. The problem is she didn't want to be honest about her plan. She didn't want to tell people exactly what she wanted to do because it probably wasn't going to align with what the Democrats really wanted of her. So, because what happened when she tried to run, what was
But
it, before they brought Biden into play? No one was aligning with her plan.
at
But
all.
then that speaks to who just said something about her being a scapegoat when the Democrats lost. That speaks to that then.
Let me tell you, she wanted it so bad that she allowed herself to be the scapegoat. Let's be honest. Let's be real honest with it.
Cook
You
him,
didn't
material
stand.
life. Cook him.
You didn't stand. She didn't stand 10 toes down with decrepit Biden. If you felt like
Decrepit. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
she wanted this, and y'all trying to give her a scapegoat, a little scape out, like, oh, she didn't have time. She had time. She was able to make $30 million in what, 24 hours, bro.
I guess.
She got
Uh,
all of she got all the signatures she needed because clearly she told them something to get all them signatures. So
okay.
let's not pretend she didn't have time. She had time. She just didn't want to be honest with us. And she thought the emotional, the same struggle that Biden used with this emotional tie of Trump. People are still exhausted. Like for the longest, y'all claimed y'all didn't know where she was during the whole VP run, but then
I
now during
actually
the
don't.
presidency run, it was like, oh, okay, I forgot she was just missing before.
Nah, but material life. You want to know what further proves your point? Remember when they were projecting Trump to be the winner, and that woman left the fucking Howard campus with the quickness and left all of those people there without any warning? That's how I knew.
Exactly.
That's how I
She
mother. That was the biggest
and
sign right there.
imagine as
Mm.
why would you do that, regardless if you didn't win presidency or not? Like, how could you just leave these people that you so called, brought through, just standing there looking crazy?
Also, put
You
into
was partying with
context.
them. She was partying with them prior too.
Yeah,
She
exactly.
was
She brought out
outside
Beyonce and Glorilla. She was outside.
the whole night when the numbers was coming in. She was with them. Towards the end, when the numbers started looking crazy, she was all of a sudden too drunk. She couldn't. Girl, bye. Come on now, sis. Why you do that to them? They looking crazy. They wonder if you're coming back outside. You don't even have the decency to come back outside, but send somebody else. That's
Come
wild.
outside, ho. Come outside, ho.
Mm.
And you
Okay.
also,
This.
Even
So.
when Trump lost last year, he was, even though he was hot, but he still came out.
that nigga caused a whole insurrection.
So I'm
And
like,
Kamala can't speak and concede the same night she loses. Come on, bro.
I don't think in her mind she believed she was gonna lose. Like I know she knew she lost when she had to lead the primaries for 2020 because it was just not gonna happen. Right? Nobody liked her. Nobody wanted her. Um, but it's like, why didn't you think you was gonna lose? Because, and I told people that I said the problem is every time you see any of her clips, it never speaks about what she got going on. It's always clips about her, inciting Donald Trump, inciting Donald Trump. It's like, okay, that's cool and all, but none of your clips say anything you got planned on doing. Where you'll see the media take Trump's clips, and it's always a clip where he speaks on the situation, but he rarely speaks on her. Like he don't give her that much entertainment time. She spends her whole election, like running against him, and it's just like, girl, you giving him advertising still for what? The man don't need that.
This is true.
Like someone asked you, "What is your plan?" and you said absolutely nothing, and then you said, "Well, and then I think at one point they said, "Well, uh, it was something about the economy plan." She was like, "I didn't have a problem with Trump." Girl, what? What are you doing? Like you should fire your whole team. And to bring Glorilla, to bring Megan Thee Stallion, where they didn't have not one song that was like, kid friendly, just didn't make no sense. You should have just had them talk. But to have them perform didn't make no sense to me.
At least Cardi B talk.
With Cardi B knew for a fact she couldn't play. First of all, they eat her up every time she performed. So why would she go perform at the like it just didn't make sense. Cardi B don't have
Even then,
songs
when they
for a
introduced it, though, they played Bodak Yellow. It's like, why would you play Yellow?
her whole team needs to be fired. Then they talk about, oh, like when that whole situation where they was gonna ask Kai to like bring her on screen. Girl, what?
I think either way you look at it, she was set up for failure.
Yeah, she should have fired her whole team like Trump do. Trump be firing people quick. Like he quick to fire somebody. The same way Janet Jackson. Remember they had asked her that question. She said, "I don't really know Kamala." All I heard was I think she's not really black. She's white or she's Irish and something something. And then her publicist or whoever he was tried to apologize in behalf of like Janet Jackson. She fired him that instantly. Fired him and said, I never even said that. I don't know who gave him the right to say something like that.
Job
Like if
done.
exactly, if your team not doing what you, if your team can't produce to you or tell you like how to, first of all, people are asking the same thing. It's not like we just not asking her to know what her plan is. They keep asking her the same thing every time you see the clips, every time you see black people, every time everybody keeps asking her the same thing. We want to know exactly what is your plan. Like you only got about 3 months. You need to be like on it. Like you can't even give us guesstimations no more. Like what can you do
Yeah.
different from Biden? Because we at this point nobody want Biden. So what can you do different? She's like, I don't think he did a bad job. Girl, I know you lying.
That was her
With
trying to defend.
$35
That was her
trillion
defending her
dollars in
man.
debt.
See,
Exactly.
all that tells me is she wasn't expecting to win in the fucking first place.
No, she was expecting to win. She really thought she had it because everybody was her rallies was thick. Everybody was happy. They hated the problem is she assumed that the amount of people who hated Trump would have voted for her. The only reason why Trump won it wasn't because people just they would rather not see this economy to remain the same. It's not because they like Trump or they felt like he deserved to win. No one wanted him to win. The
Trump
electoral,
should have never became president. That's what I keep trying to tell
exactly.
people.
The problem is
He should have never
they
been allowed to become a fucking candidate.
That's what I've been saying.
he wouldn't
I've
have
been saying
won
that.
if someone was able to say they talk and speak about the economy being different. The fact that she felt like Biden did not do a bad job, but the economy blew people's minds. They was like, "Girl, how
Do
we
you
can't
not
even
see
pay
how
our
many
own
people are out
bills."
here struggling?
Exactly. People can't even pay their bills. They exhausted. Trump's talking about he's not going to tax. He's going to try to remove taxation from overtime pay. All she's thinking about is people buying a house. Sis, how we gonna buy a house when we can't even afford the debt we on now? Like, make it make sense.
Yeah, like I said, I still stick to my point of no matter how you slice it, no matter how you look at it, she was destined for failure. There was she wasn't meant to win. She was a place filler. That's it.
Okay, if I may, I wanted to add this in before everybody got into the little tangent. For what they was supposed what they were saying, and I don't know why they didn't bring this up before, but they bring this up now. Biden was supposed to be a transitional president. So he was just supposed to be in this for 4 years and then they should prepare for the next president. The thing was when Trump said he was going to run again, because I guess they thought that Trump was not going to run again, and then he ended up getting the seat. Joe Biden felt like he was the only one that's be able to beat Trump, which is why he said that during like before he had to stand out. He was like, "I think I'm the only person that's able to beat Trump." So at that debate, we all seen him. He looked very very old and looked very not there, and he had to stand out. So therefore, they wanted someone else before Kamala, but she is the vice president. It's just like just throw Kamala in there. That's the story that I've been seeing. So the fact that he is a transitional president, it proves my point that we didn't vote Joe Biden in. We voted Donald Trump out. So
So
take
you
that.
tell me, him as a transitional president, she was a transitional VP, so that's the reason why none of them did their job for 4 years.
Sounds about
That's
right.
sounds about. I
So
can
her
see
as
that happening.
transitional VP,
I
they neither one of them worked during the 4 years. So I guess they was both transitioning.
That's probably why you didn't see Kamala all that fucking time. Remember, I was the one saying, "Where the fuck is Kamala?" And then every time you see her, it's like, "Where the fuck have you been?"
So
it's
why did
it,
she get so bold to think that she could do better from the transition of 4 years that she did absolutely nothing of? That just don't
because
even make
everybody
sense
was
to me to be
because
that bold and delusional.
because everybody was hyping her head up, saying that she is the most qualified person to run for president. They was hyping her. They was even
So they lied to this woman.
so, and she did, and like Dion said, or someone said, I forgot who. She had, even though we was contemplating her race the whole fucking time, she had black woman in her back, and then there was a lot of people, her being an HBCU grad, she's fucking AKA rap, and all that other bullshit, having Beyonce, Glorilla, and all that other stuff in there. She probably someone put the battery in her back. And then like that debate with her and Donald Trump where he was like, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cat. I'm pretty sure she was like, yo, I can pull this off. I'm pretty sure because like Trump didn't look good in that debate. And I know a lot of people was pointing out Kamala didn't look good either, which I kind of agree with because she just kind of like talked around in circles. But Trump didn't look good in that debate. So I'm pretty sure she was like, I think I can pull this off. So,
I'm
I
pretty
was,
certain the plan with that was for Trump to talk himself into a hole.
and he kind of did.
In,
But,
but in the beginning of the debate, it wasn't bad. He was eating her up. He was eating
oh,
her up.
no, no, no.
Towards
I agree. I agree.
towards
Trump
the
was
middle, like after a while, I started getting irritated because I just felt like this was a waste of everybody's time. It was just like, okay. And then I shut it off. But by the time I shut it off, from what the middle to the end,
they're
she
eating the
was up a
dogs.
thousand. Because then at this point, he just started getting delusional too.
They're
And
eating the
he started
dogs.
talking points that there's no reason to be talking about. Like I don't even stand cats and dogs, Springfield, like. And I bet you they was in his ears like, God damn. Well, they couldn't be in his ear because technically not supposed to have any hearing piece or whatever. But they're like, oh man, we losing it. That's right. What his
Yeah,
whole team was talking about.
I had
Oh,
this
we
talk with
losing it.
I had this talk with somebody in my Discord when I said, since when is Haitians known for eating dogs and cats? So what? And then everybody's like trying to throw that joke in. I was like, there's never been a stereotype. That's more or less the Asian thing. When Asian
You
like
know,
when they
and
make
I had to
Chinese food.
think about that. I was like, is that how we came about all of a sudden saying Asians eat cats and dogs? Is like someone put that narrative out there? Because I remember a little kid. He's like, oh, Asians eat cat. And I'm like, do Asians really eat cat and dogs? But then again, I remember in Virginia, there was a Chinese restaurant. So I was like, wait, time out. That might not be the narrative might have been created somewhere, but I do remember there was a restaurant that got shut down because it was just people saying they was killing cats and dogs. But I was like, that's weird.
I remember that.
It's
That
like
was when we
how
was in
narratives
Atlanta.
get created from nowhere.
Yeah, I remember that. So I mean, in my opinion, so like I said, and I've been calling this Trump looking like the 2024 Celtics. He got an easy walk into the championship. And I said, but if he fucks up, he's going to look like the 2010 Dallas Mavericks that lost to the We Believe Warriors. And that's just an old basketball. It's like nobody's seeing that
Mhm.
coming. But it
No, I've
Kamala
seen
was.
this
But
coming. I just,
I also said this was Trump's to lose, not for Kamala's to win. It's basically for Trump to lose. So
well, I don't think the Democrats could have won. Like no, the only way they could have won is if they had brought in Michelle, because Michelle's the only one. First of all, a lot of the things that people are upset about is things that Michelle could appease. When
I'm
it
glad
comes to
Michelle
like
didn't run.
health and the farmers, they love Michelle. You're talking about a
I'm
lot of farmers. They would have been happy with Michelle because
I'm so glad Michelle didn't run. I'm so
The
glad. You
smartest
see,
decision Michelle Obama ever made was not running for president. That was a very
y'all
wise
see
decision.
now. You seen what they
no,
was doing to Barack during them 8 years of presidency. That man went from a full black hair to motherfucking old and
Oh
gray.
yeah, his
well,
shit turned white real quick.
Michelle is. Michelle is pure black.
Yeah,
So
I know. This is
there's
what
a
I'm saying.
huge
No,
difference.
we're talking about how Barack's hair changed color from how bad they stressed his ass out.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
they stress
Barack White
like
side used to always activate randomly. It used to be like, bruh, okay.
nah,
Yeah,
no,
but
no,
Michelle was
no,
pure
no,
black.
no,
Everything she did
no,
reminded me, like, when it came down to health,
no,
when it came down to, like, getting the peoples together, doing all the things. So Michelle was
no,
going to be for the
because they got
people, 100.
no, because they got on Michelle for wearing sleeveless dress. And that was like a
I'm,
weak story of her wearing a sleeveless dress. They
no,
they
I'm not,
was they was they got on the kids. They was getting on the kids. They was, and that's what I said. And you see what they was doing to Kamala. They was not holding up on Kamala. They was giving her the business. So that's why I said I did. And the fact of what they was doing to Kamala, I felt like they was going to do that to Michelle too. And I feel like
Michelle would
you
have
were
got
going to
it
start.
worse.
I feel like you was going to start a race war because they was really getting on Kamala. I said you was
well,
going to start a race war if they'd have done that shit to Michelle.
the problem is Kamala was playing in people's face with this black card. If she had just came in like she always like like the Indian she was before, then I don't think people would have really like did all this investigative work for her blackness. It was just like, girl,
I thought, and
like
even
why
then,
do
I thought they was doing too. I thought they was doing too much with that. It
yeah,
was like they was looking at your grandmother's death certificate just to see. It was like, yo, y'all is doing too much. But to
yeah,
me,
like
honestly, that proves my point that Kamala may have had a chance because why would you even do that? Like,
because
what would
they
be the
felt like
purpose
she
of
was
bringing
playing
up?
with people's blackness. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. If
yeah,
she had just came in as the Indian she always been before, then it would have been okay.
but
But
if
then the
Trump, if
fact that she,
my bad, my bad. But if
no,
Trump
say it.
had the lead that everybody said that he had, there was no reason to even bring up her grandmother's death certificate. You wouldn't even have to do that. And like that's why I call Candace Owens white supremacy's teacher's pet. You didn't have to do that.
Mm.
Like she is white supremacy's teacher's. Who in the right mind would look up your grandmother's death certificate just to prove that you are black or not? Like if you are winning in the polls like you said you are, you would not have to do that. I wouldn't have. Now, like I know Trump did that with Barack, tried to ask him for his birth certificate. You know what Barack said?
They made a big deal out of his middle name. I remember that.
Yeah. And it was just like, oh, we need to see your, and Trump was like, we need to see Barack Obama's birth certificate. And Barack was like, nigga, fuck you. Not for real, but he was basically like, I ain't gotta show you that shit. And then it was just
We
but
have we seen tax records from Trump yet? Because they was making a big deal about that.
oh yeah,
We ain't
and no,
seen
he
not yet
didn't.
tax record from you from his punk ass. But you're trying to get at
They
somebody's
they've seen his tax
freaking.
record. That's the reason why they say he pays no taxes. That's the reason why that whole spill came out about him paying no taxes. It's
Yeah,
because
because he's
of them
smart.
seeing his
That's
tax
what he said,
record.
because I'm smart.
Hmm.
He
So
said
that's
it
how
himself,
that
because I'm smart.
oh how come he don't pay any taxes? Like you should be paying taxes. And they realize he pays zero taxes. He don't owe nothing. His taxation is to owe to the government zero, and he makes billions. So they was like, that's how the whole spill came about.
Shoot that and that in of itself speaks to a lot of what's what's wrong now.
Because of the because he functions as a full time business, and he doesn't function as a real human being. So he gets away with a lot of taxation breaks because he doesn't function as a real human being.
Hey,
It's like the
you can't
man
front a man
functions
that
as a business 24/7.
hey man, you can't front a man that knows how to work the system. I can't knock
He
it.
gets
He knew how to work the system.
business credits left and
Hey,
right. But this, I think that's why I said in the beginning. Remember, I said there's a possible Kamala could win. The problem is her team. I don't think like they tried to also they had did the whole thing where she claimed she worked at McDonald's. Then they did this investigative work and realized she never worked, and then she turned around and said that it was like some volunteer thing she had did or something like that.
She
No,
was
her team
she
did their
was
job because she wasn't meant to win.
she was a small town girl in a small town world. All right. She grew up in middle age wherever the fuck she was from. That's what she kept saying. She was like, and I think that was another thing. I don't think Kamala was as relatable as people thought. So I don't know. I I can't think of anything that like would make Kamala to me would make her very relatable to like black folks. And
Job. That's what they fail to realize. Like it's like asking a billionaire to relate to a homeless person. How? The only thing that's the truth is they're both human. That's it. The billionaire would not understand how to go hungry. Like he couldn't fathom that right now in his brain. What it feels like for your stomach to eat the bat. So it's just like, girl, why are you trying? Like, you want to relate so bad to the struggle, like this black life and stuff like that. It's okay to not know what it's like to go to sleep hungry. It's okay to not have experienced that.
Mhm. More,
It's
more of
okay
what's wrong
to
with
not.
politics.
It's
nah,
okay to
you nah,
not
you
not
knew
go to a regular like a public school and went to private school your whole life. It's okay.
nah, you knew who Barack was. You knew who Barack was. You knew who Michelle was. You knew where they came from. All right. They made it a fact that like and Barack was charming. Like I can't tell
Yeah.
you I could not tell you what I know about motherfucking Kamala Harris.
Yeah, but Barack wasn't sitting here trying to make us believe that like we knew okay he came from his mom technically was a single mom because his dad they came off of his visa whatever the case they was in college in Hawaii then she left and he left and she went back to America and he was raised by a white family and stuff like that so he might have a different little upbringing but he's a little black child in a white token family. But he wasn't sitting here trying to say, "Oh my gosh, I was sleeping on the bench in college because I couldn't afford it." Like, girl, like, why did you even bring up this McDonald's story for them to recant it, and then later on you had to say, "Well, it was a volunteer." Like, then the story is shifting, but it's just like, why did you do that? Now you looking crazy. And I was like, her whole team need to be like, it's like even Megan when she went to on what's her name uh Gail's
Gail King?
thing to like try and help out her case, girl. The team needs to be
Mhm.
cut. She must have got a Rock Nation team.
Nah, because Jay, if no, because if Jay would have said anything, you'd have told her to shut the fuck up. Because if Jay would have had it in there, you'd have told her to shut the fuck up. 'Cause you don't hear shit from Jay unless it's from Jay.
Exactly.
Right.
And Jay know how to talk.
That's why I was so mad. I was like, I really thought because I was like, oh, she's bringing hope back. There's a possibility. I was like, anything is possible. But then when I never seen her answer a question, it just started kept on and kept on. It's like a repeating cycle. She never fully answered any question. 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 It just kept on
Yeah, people
repeating
busy
the
for that.
cycle, and it was just like after a while, like hope is dying. Like
Yeah.
I don't care if you bring Gorilla outside. Like
It wasn't even 7 p.m. Friday or 95 degrees when she brought up Gorilla. So this one she was lying then too.
Stop. Stop.
And you know what this
it's
also includes? Trump beats
mhm.
women.
Oh,
Oh,
He's
that was
two for
another
two
thing.
now. He's 2 for 2.
He two for the. It's a wrap. Trump, no, 3 for 3 because he beat Rosie O'Donnell too. Trump beats.
Oh,
stop it.
And when he said he grabs the pee, you gotta grab him by the pee. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he meant by grabbing by the pussy. That's what. Yeah.
And then now he has a
Stop
movie out
it.
about it's called he has a movie about him. Like why we need that. It looks
Oh,
like
he
a
might.
drug like those old like Wolf Street or something like that. What's that movie
Wolf
called?
of Wall Street.
Is it called Wolf Street?
Wolf of Wall Street. Great movie, by the way. Fun. That movie
Yeah.
is funny without trying to be funny.
Yeah.
It's-
It's a movie about him and how he came about and the kid that plays him could have been an SNL skit. And I'm just like, why we need this? But okay. I guess anytime somebody get out of presidency, they make another a movie about themselves.
oh, they did one with Michelle with Viola Davis. By the
Hmm.
way, Viola Davis is kind of fucked up for that. I don't care what anybody. Oh man, why she kept on Michelle Obama's lips like that? Oh man. All right, continue. But continue on. I think we done answered like whose fault did y'all think it was, but so and y'all done kind of like went through that. So let me ask y'all this. Would y'all consider Trump one of the greatest finesses of all time?
you want to know what it is? I don't. I don't think he's the greatest finesser of all time. I just think he's a product of how America in itself are the greatest finessers. He just so happens to be the greatest product of that. And that's how he won the presidency. He out America'd all of y'all. Niggas is saying MAGA. Niggas is saying Trump 2020, Trump 2024. He got his own fucking congratulations. You won.
I don't know about y'all, but I always find it crazy every time I see a black man in a MAGA hat. I don't support Trump, but like watching a black man in a MAGA hat, I don't know.
It
It
don't.
just it
Yeah.
just looks coonery. I don't care if you're my friend or not. You got a MAGA hat. You just look like a coon. It's just like, and they all sound like coons too. It's like that. Y'all remember that Key and Peele sketch about the Republican dance ceremony and everybody dressed the same?
You want to know what it is, right? You know they're starting
What
to
is
get
it?
immune to that word now, right? In a funny way, they're starting to get used to that word. That shit don't even phase them anymore.
I wouldn't.
Before you go, B. All I want to know
Mhm.
is who do you know can get impeached twice, has a felony, and still was able to run for president. Not only
Bruh.
run for president, win it back twice after you done
The fact
lost it.
that the fact that we have a fella for about to be president again, but a fella
Oh
can't
my
vote is crazy.
god. This shit is Looney Tunes, nigga.
This shit is Looney Tunes. Motherfucker, like I couldn't like I almost didn't get a job
Oh
at
my
one of the casinos
god.
I was working with. That I ended up getting, but it was because of a debt that I didn't even know I fucking had because they had a background check on me. And I almost didn't get that job because I had to pay that. I had to pay that bill for something, and I didn't even know I had this shit. This nigga,
How
he
you
got
gonna get
two.
declined? How you gonna get declined a job for a debt? How you gonna pay the fucking debt if you can't get a job?
They'll be like that. You can't work at a bank unless you like if you have debt and some shit like that. If you owe money, they're not gonna give you a job. It's stupid. I don't. I always found that stupid. It's
Backwards
like,
ass. Uh,
like, did you know you owe the government? Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get a job so I can pay off the government. No, you can't do that. What?
What the
How the fuck am I
fuck?
supposed to pay? So what happens
That's
if I
so
don't? You go
fucking
to jail.
backwards. Wait a minute. That's backwards as fuck.
Uh,
What kind of option select is that, Ray?
bruh. It's the whole.
Mhm.
It's the whole damn if you do, damn if you don't. So what happens if I don't pay? You go to jail. But
Okay, so let me get the job so I ain't gotta go to fucking jail.
so what's your other options? You got to get a job, man. I can't get.
And
That's
then they
when
want,
that's
and
when
then
you start.
motherfuckers want 5 years, 5 years experience for an entry level position. Eat a dick.
Yo, that's when you, honestly, this is when you start swinging on people. I swear to God, that's that's honestly that's when you start swinging on niggas. He's like, yo, you're insulting my intelligence. But yeah, go ahead, B. I was,
Well, all I was gonna say was I don't think he's the greatest finesser. All I think is he is the greatest observer. He paid attention. He
he's the
sat
greatest
down,
what? I'm sorry. He's the greatest what?
observer.
Observer.
So yeah, all he did was paid attention. All he did was look to see what was going on, what people were saying, and he answered or like he came up with ideas for each of these statements. Because when you look at it, people have been crying, and all these people are making these. Because why would he bring up the Springfield? Clearly, he watched the same clips that everybody went around with that guy with the red hat, whatever that was talking about. They were eating cats and dogs. They don't know how to drive. He's clearly he's seen the clip, which a lot of people didn't see the clip beforehand. There's a lot of people that didn't even know this man came up on Springfield during their their little whatever the and made that statement. A lot of people didn't see that clip, which I saw when it came out prior to because it was running rampant on certain pages that I be on. So clearly he saw the clip and then brought it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, his team brought it to his acknowledgement, and um, Vance brought it up on his page. Reshared the clip that was going around on his page, and they found out. But it was a lot of things that other people didn't even know that clip existed. When you look online, you don't even see the original clip. You only see like Vance's clip, or you see like a small tidbit of what that guy talked about. But you didn't see the whole day's plan no more. All of a sudden, it's like removed from like social media, removed from like the city, the states level, everything, which is crazy to me. So it was just like he paid it, like that's what I'm telling you. He paid attention to what was going on. All he did was observe what people were saying, things that people were complaining about, and he had an answer for all of these things. And what he did is he would go to places that liked him so that he could answer these questions in fullness. Kamala wouldn't just go to places that like her. She was also going places that didn't like her. And you know what they would do? They would clickbait little clips of her that wasn't great, and they would circulate it rampantly. Like, why
They was
would you?
getting in.
No offense. Why would I go someplace they don't like me at? That's what he was saying. Trump was like, I'm not going to go there and talk to them. They don't like me. I don't care if you're trying to compete and you want everybody to see you, but don't go places they don't like you at. Because they're not going to give you a fair chance. They're not going to talk to you. They're not going to put clips of things that you did that was great, things that you said that was great. They're going to only take clips that make you look crazy. And that's why it was a bunch of clips that made her look where she was never really, it seemed like she never was answering. A bunch of people's like, oh no, she answered. Well, we don't see those. So I think he was observant. Like he paid attention and he answered the questions that people wanted to hear. And he made sure to continue to answer those everywhere he went. His same talking points everywhere he went. Um, Everyone on his team was very plugged in everywhere, like from the UFC owner to the ICE
Elon Musk.
representative, Elon Musk, to the guys that went to Pennsylvania to get with the farmers to realize what the issue was, and like he was plugged in everywhere, everywhere that needed to be he needed to be at. He was plugged in with their problems, and he claimed to have an answer for all these problems that they had. And that's why I'm saying he was the
I
greatest
will say,
observer. Like she would have won if she had a better team.
you do have a point because that man did know how to play the game. Because a lot of people was like, "What is he going to Aiden Ross for?" And obviously, it worked because he got most people don't notice he got a lot of the young votes, and you know who's and you know why he got a lot of young votes because he went to Aiden Ross's stream.
But he didn't just go to Aiden Ross's stream. He also answered the questions. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't like he was bad mouthing Kamala the whole time. He was answering like Aiden was asking him simple questions. It wasn't like no deep thought questions. It was simple stuff. But he answered it. And so that's the reason why kids was like, oh, okay, like he's there, he's answering. It was like it wasn't even that long. He was in there for like hours. So it was just like he was just answering the stuff, and he was there because Aiden's a junkie for clout, so he gon' like let's be honest, Aiden was lit just because he had that opportunity. So and Aiden's a junkie for clout.
yeah,
Um,
and all you know what's funny because all of them, everybody was saying that was a bad idea, and then now looking back at it, it wasn't. He motherfucking it looked he looked
who said
smart.
it was a bad idea?
There was a lot of people saying it was a bad look because at the end, I don't know if you saw it when Trump left, Aiden Ross sniffed the fucking chair like a jackass.
Live
That's why I said
streaming
Aiden.
is
When
on.
I say Aiden is a junkie for clout, and I tell you, I'm serious. Like I didn't watch the whole stream at all. I just seen clips, but I didn't think it was a bad idea because Aiden, Kai, Speed, those are like considered the top three streamers right now. So like Speed not gonna have him there. Kai wasn't gonna have him there because they don't really care about politics. Aiden, that's probably the only place to go because Aiden deals with those red pill people. So it makes sense for him to go there because what's the guy name? The one that all the he created this alpha stigma people like the guy in Romania, the one that all the people said he's like what's his name? The one that had
Andrew
got
Tate,
locked up.
Andrew
Hmm?
Tate,
Yeah,
Andrew
Andrew
Tate.
Tate. Like Andrew Tate, like Aiden seems like that's where Donnie should go. Like Kamala, it just wouldn't make sense for her to go to Aiden's podcast because let's be honest, Aiden's low key red, like he's part of those red groups. Like he deals with people that's in that same group, like that does that, that does this whole alpha male, this fake personality trait. Kamala, it just would have been so awkward for her to be at Kai's stream because Kai and Speed, they both young, they just be trying to have fun. Like they don't take nothing serious, to be honest. And it would look so weird and so unorganized to have her down there. What questions would they be asking her?
Right. We actually have someone actually commented during the whole thing. The Watcher Man. He said he has a I think this was when Dion said that Kamala was a scapegoat. He said that Dion has a point. She was playing at a disadvantage, but her party still sucked ass. And then he said the Democrats just didn't care to focus on things your average American wanted. And he also said, why did they send out an idiot like Cardi B? People all over was facepalming after that one. To answer the third one, Cardi
Man,
B,
wait. The Cardi B thing took me out.
the Cardi,
Yo.
yeah, but to answer the third one, the Cardi B she's a history buff. She actually knows her history. I mean, I know she don't look like she knows a thing about history, but she does know history. I think that's why they brought her out there. Still a
But
bad
why
idea.
you said why they put that idiot out? Like, bruh, that's so like that's wow to say like that.
It's just something she just don't put. I don't know, man. But he also said y'all cooking right now, so y'all cooking.
I will
um,
give her that. Cardi B do know her shit. I'll do give her that. People
she
sleep
knows
on
the
her
history.
intelligence.
Yeah, most don't underestimate when it comes to history. She knows her history. I would say that. Um, on to the next question, and or not the next question, but the next
No,
thing. Um,
hold on. Can you
I'm sorry.
repeat his statements again? The first, because I kind of forgot everything once he hit that Cardi B note. I was like, oh damn.
Oh, the first two. He said he agreed with Dion on that she was playing at a disadvantage, but her party still sucked ass. That's what he said. He has a point. She was playing with it at a disadvantage, but her party still sucked ass. And the second one, he said the Democrats just didn't care to focus on things your average American wanted. Like he was talking about how he was answering questions, and everywhere he went, that Trump was answering questions.
I want to say one thing. Let's be honest. We all want to say she was playing at a disadvantage, but let's be honest. If you look at the primaries with Trump and the rest of the Republican team, first of all, Trump didn't have a plan. When him and Biden went up against each other, he had zero plan. He said we would figure it out when we figure it out. If you go back and you watch that debate between him and Biden, Trump had zero plan.
And
The
that's why,
moment
and
Kamala
that's
went into office, the moment Kamala said she was going up, all of a sudden Trump had a like Trump still didn't have no plan, but then he had to get a plan real quick.
and
So they
that's
both came in at the same time, to be honest.
and that's why I didn't vote. And that, I was like, why am I voting for two niggas that don't have plans? Like y'all supposed to, like I said before, y'all supposed to tell me this is the most important election of our time, and yet no one had fucking plans. No one really knew what we was going to do when we get into the White House, and I'm supposed to like, oh yeah, let's go vote for these motherfuckers. No, um, but yeah, go ahead, B.
No, that's exactly what it was. Because he thought he was going up against Biden, so he didn't really have a distinct plan to plan exactly what he wanted to do. Until Kamala came up there, he was like, "Oh, okay, time out. It's not going to be as easy as it was." Then he brought a team together. Because let's be honest, I don't think he had a team like he have now. He didn't have a team because he didn't think it was going to be a challenge. And at one point, I felt like he didn't think he was going to win either. He just had gave up. And then when Biden, that's why I said I don't know why, regardless of what people want to say, Biden was probably really the only other option to go against him. Because even though Biden was senile and everything, some people like the way that Biden signed papers.
I think
He didn't ask too many questions, he just signed. And some people like that. They want
my
somebody
man
in
Biden
office
just
that,
wanted
that
his
don't
ice
ask
cream.
too much questions and just sign away.
Biden just wanted his ice cream. That's all he wanted.
Right?
Just
So
get.
I feel like she had enough time. But if you don't think you were capable of doing it, you should have stepped aside and let somebody who wanted to do it, somebody who had the capabilities of doing it, because it wasn't just her that went to go get those electoral those I mean not electoral go get those votes so that she can be stood behind by the Democratic Party. It was just like okay, the person I think John F. I mean Kennedy Jr. or whatever his name was. I think
Robert
he went.
Kennedy. Robert
Yeah, I
Kennedy.
think he went to go get some votes, but then he was like, okay, she said she got it. He pushed aside or whatever the case may be. So there were several. There wasn't. She wasn't the only person. Biden came, woke up, what, 2 or 3 days later, and said, or whatever he said, he's standing behind her. She was like, "Oh no, I want to earn it." Girl, bye.
It's like Goku saying, "I want a fair fight."
Exactly.
Nigga, the
You want a
world is
fair
at
fight?
stake.
Then
Fuck you
take
want a fair
yourself out
fight
of it.
for? God damn it.
You can't ask for a fair fight when you're the only contender. What?
Nah. Like Joe Biden gave Donald Trump a senzu bean uh, for Kamala Harris and tell her go ahead fight that.
It's,
It's like, what are
it
you
was
doing?
it was so much that just didn't make sense the whole ride through, and I was like, why? Like, so I understand people saying she didn't have enough time, but when you want something so bad, if some let's be honest, if somebody gave you, they said, okay, if you can knock this out in 2 months, I'm about to give you for let's say you have to create a game, right? If you can get this game created in 2 months, it don't have to be nothing crazy, just a simple game or write a speech. That's very simple in 2 months. After that, I'll give you $30 million. Boy, I'll be on every YouTube channel. I'll be on every everything, everywhere. I'll be on every website. I mean, hiring all sorts of crazy people to get this thing done. Be like,
Oh, we be working like
I'll pay you in 3 months.
I'll be
Like
working like
all we gotta do is
Sakurai.
get it done.
I'm gonna look like Sakurai at the end of the day.
Exactly. Like, man, you couldn't tell me 30 million? All I gotta do is, boy, I have your tic tac toe game virtually.
I'm
I
gonna look
mean,
like I'm gonna look like yeah, I'm gonna look like Sakurai at the end of the day.
exactly. Man, it'll be all sorts of AI. It'll be all sorts of just questions. You get to put an X here if you answer the question. Like, it's, man, anything for 30 million. Oh, bro, this only was like, girl, she had time. She didn't want it hard enough. But I bet
All
you
right,
if you had got somebody out the hood, they would have wanted hard enough.
all right. Continue. Okay, continue on with the election thing or the aftermath of the election. There's a lot of women that was very angry about Donald Trump winning. That so bad that they thought about starting a 4B movement here in America. What do you? I come to the panel. What are your thoughts about that?
Ooh, can I go first? Can I go first? Ooh,
Wait,
because
what
I've
is
been
a
actually
4B?
researching about this.
What's a 4B
Go ahead
movement?
first, and then
Allow
explain
me
to
to
me what the
explain.
4B movement is.
Yeah, allow me to explain. Okay, so the 4B movement is basically it start it didn't start in South Korea, but it was popularized in South Korea. So it's basically four rules that women go by: no sex, no marriage, no children, no dating. And they all have a word in the Korean language that starts with a B to basically highlight their points. Hence the word 4B. So those are basically that's what they mean by that. Is basically no sex, no marriage, no children, no dating of men. That's like the focus of the movement.
Well, they should have started that years ago.
But my thing is, but bro, I feel like well over here in like America in particular, they're not about it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna have some that are gonna be able to do so. Like I'm pretty sure there are women that are on that already. But for the most part, and I'm talking real honestly here, just based on the culture and everything, it's a sexually liberated ass society. Like some people do this as their profession. So that shit ain't really gonna fucking fly over here. You know what I'm saying? Like they just not about it. I don't see a situation in which it's going to be applied. The majority are going to apply it just based on, and also if you look at South Korean culture, it tries to cosplay and gimmick a lot of American culture just simply due to the fact that we basically injected them with capitalism after the Korean War. So it's monkey see, monkey do when you break it down at its root core. Um, at the same time, though. I do see that there's a lot of frustration, especially when it comes to like gender relations and how polarized it's been. As you can see, women of a particular color are always pulling up their weight while their white counterparts, basically betray them, which has always historically been the case. I don't know why we keep going at like this merry-go-round over and over and over and over and over again. They did the same shit with Hillary Clinton and they also did the same shit with another candidate too. The name escapes me, but you see this constantly. And, it's like there's a cause, they get disappointed, and then let's have a temper tantrum. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, the 4B movement looks real attractive. Let's do that. Girl, bruh, it's not realistic, especially out here. But I do see why they're doing it over in South Korea. Now, them, I support them. I support them when it comes to doing that. Because if you hear the horror stories about the shit they have to go through over there, I see the fuck why they're not having children over there in South Korea. I totally motherfucking understand. But over here, it's like there's billionaires out here. Y'all gonna fold quick. Y'all not about that.
First of all, they didn't even fold when Roe v. Wade was so what makes them think they about to fold? Because bro, y'all still having kids. Like y'all still some of them y'all still surrogates.
Yeah.
Even
Baby
if you
mamas
can't
out
have
right
kids,
now.
y'all still paying somebody else to have y'all kids.
Try that 4B shit in the hood, see what will happen.
I'm like, some of y'all having kids for free. Ain't nobody asking you to have a kid and you having a kid. Some of y'all trapping these niggas for kids. So y'all so mad that y'all can't even come in unison with the rest of the world to not have kids. Wasn't y'all just doing slut walk? So like make it make sense, y'all. Like then y'all just not come together to vote Kamala in? Make it make sense, y'all. Then y'all not even come together to get Florida to reject or the reproductive rights? Make it make sense, y'all. Like this don't even make like this just doesn't make sense. Like I understand it's cute and whatever, but let's be honest. Some of y'all can't stop having sex.
Y'all
Some of y'all
bitches ain't
became
something.
what's that thing called? What's that website? OnlyFans. Some of y'all became OnlyFans sex workers because y'all couldn't stop having sex. So I'm like, yeah, it's cute. It's real cute. But y'all don't believe in birth control. Y'all don't believe in abstinence. Y'all don't believe in, being better. Y'all don't believe in STDs. So now y'all want to be a unit on being modest. Oh, okay. That's weird. Like it took
So
Trump for y'all to like get y'all life together. Oh,
yeah.
God forbid. God came through and asked y'all to get y'all life together. What would he get?
Okay. So I'm going to basically say this. First of all, I'm gonna speak because it was white women. I seen white women do it, and the first thing they was doing, they was cutting off their hair bald because they were shaving because of the patriarchy. Because they said they didn't want to stand in this patriarchy or to be looking at the male gaze. I want the white women to
Wait,
realize and understand that
wait,
over
wait,
50,
wait, wait.
yeah, they was,
With this men to men society we on now, where more men is attracted to men, they thought shaving their head bald was about to be the spot, huh?
first of all, the most of the people that was doing this, they weren't that they're not that attractive anyway. Not being hard, but you was like they're like all right. They wasn't like the baddest of the females saying this shit. They was just like average looking women saying this shit. So and take that how you want. I'm not judging nobody, but let's just say that too. I want people to understand that like Trump had 50, I think at least 58% of white women's votes. So you should start with your own peoples. You should start with your own gender and to wonder why the fuck he's in there because white women was definitely voting, even though you had a woman in office, y'all didn't vote for her. Y'all could have made the first woman president, first woman of color president. However y'all want to fucking do this, y'all didn't do it for Hillary. Y'all also didn't do it for fucking motherfucker Kamala Harris. So you need to look there. Look at your own race and wonder why the fuck Donald Trump is president. It's your own damn fault, majority wise. Also, to the black women, my sisters, I love you. And I feel like y'all were just doing this just to spite that. The most of y'all are just doing this because you hate black men. Because even though um, even though there was a few more black men that voted for Trump, for the people that did vote it, black men still showed up 78%. For those that voted, black men still showed up 78% for Kamala. All right. It was 92% for black women and about 78% for 78% for black men. So that means three-fourths of black men still voted for Kamala. We had nothing as black men. We had nothing to do with why they like, and even everybody said it 100%. You could have got all the black votes, and it still went. Trump would have still won. That's another thing. So for all you black women that's just getting mad at black men and talking about we just want to withhold sex from black, we didn't do it. it's like it's like that wasn't we showed up as black men. Black men showed up. All right, you need to talk to other people like the Latino men. They're the motherfuckers that voted for Trump. So I feel like this whole 4B movement is just very emotional, and some of y'all are not thinking. And then I think some of the women that are doing it, either you hate black men or you just wanted to recruit more lesbians on your team because none of this shit makes fucking sense. And a lot of a lot of people saying like people just didn't want to see a woman president. I mean, that might be the case, but again, you need to look at yourself in the mirror, not men, or at least not black men, because black men. I don't even think Indian men like. I think the majority of them probably voted for Trump too. I know others was like majority Trump, so that kind of shows you something too. Just saying. So, but anybody else has something to say about that?
Hey, all I'm saying is, if you might it, do it. Shit, let's see.
I'm with you on that. So, with that being said, that has been our talk about the election 2024, and now let's get to. I guess this might be the final thing we can talk about,
Well,
unless yeah,
why don't they just fly out?
huh?
Why don't they just fly out? Like, why did there's a lot of places that's definitely 10 times better.
I'm sorry, B. I cannot hear words you should
I
say
said,
that
why
again.
don't they just fly out? There's like a lot of places that's 10 times better than America.
I don't know. I do not know. I do not know. So, on to our next topic. Um, Father, could you help me with this one? Because I think you know more about this, even though I did look it up and I found this kind of wild. We're gonna be talking about the my man Ebang, or they call him the consensual Diddy of Africa. Could you enlighten us on the story? Because I think you know more about it than we do.
Give me like 1 second.
Swear, boy. It's just, I, oh Lord, I'm so tired. It just feels like society really just be playing. They be playing for no
All
reason.
right, so sorry about that. So yeah, so that's Equatorial Guinea, right? And
Hmm.
it's a very interesting place in Africa. It's not a country you really talk about mostly, but yeah, this shit, it's just the mere fact that he was doing it in the office and there were over 400 videos that they found of him in his escapades. And most of it was leaked. You know what I'm saying? Most of it is leaked. Like there was people trading it on Telegram and everything. So, bruh, like the crazy part about it all is just the amount of people. Remember, I put the list on the chat of the people that were involved in this. And so it's the wife of the director of the presidential security, the wife of the attorney general, the daughter of the director general of police, the wives of many ministers, including a very high prominent one over there, and his little brother's wife was also part of this, escapade, as to say. But unfortunately, one of the women that were involved in it when it got leaked ended her life. So, it is an ongoing investigation. They did arrest him and they're charging him with like a whole bunch of other things. So he's like currently under investigation. Um, and they're also investigating like pretty much everybody who was involved as well. Like they're really trying to crack down on it. They're already trying to write legislation to like really crack down on how the person who's coming to replace the position is supposed to conduct themselves now and shit like that. So, and I'm trying to find the position. Hold on. I'm trying to find what he actually was. Let me just. So, yeah, what do y'all think?
You want to go first, B?
So if I'm getting it correct,
There's an echo.
okay, then there's a guy in Africa
Yes,
that
Equatorial
is
Guinea.
living his. What is that? What does that mean? Like, is he a minister? Like, or is he a pastor? Or is he like? I'm confused.
I'm trying to.
And he was living his best life on the position, right?
Yeah, he was the head of the National Agency for Financial Investigation.
You said
That's
what?
what his role. He was the head of the National Agency of Financial Investigation for the country.
You said financial?
Yes.
Oh, was he paying these girls to sleep around with him?
Hey,
No.
man. I don't think, bruh.
Oh, was they mad because he was doing it on the clock? I'm confused.
He had him on camera, and they was
Oh,
looking
he was
for it.
recording them. So he
These are
like
sex
how did it
tapes.
leak?
These are, no,
These are
these are
sex
sex
tapes.
tapes.
Did they know they were being recorded?
Yes, they was
Some
looking
of them
into the
was
camera.
adjusting the camera. Some of them was adjusting the camera. I shit you
So
not.
how did the videos come out?
Because they're
14 by 6.
digital. Yeah. Bro, you know how easy it is nowadays to fucking leak shit?
I'm so confused though. Like, who got to go home with the videos? Like, I know he didn't let them. Did his wife?
So,
Was he sleeping with any men?
No, just
Okay, it was
for
just
her.
all women,
Oh, women.
married women, women.
There,
Okay, go ahead.
yes,
yes, the
But
yes.
wife of the
dumb.
wife of the attorney general was also part of his videos. All of them.
He must have had some good wood. That all of them was
Oh
willing
no, hey,
participants.
hey, from from what I saw, they were quality.
Hmm.
I'll give it that. They were quality.
So who was the hater that released it? Who the hater? He
Hey,
needs
I don't like. I don't know. It probably just is just the fact that it was caught. Like he was caught, I guess, and then they just leaked the shit. Like it's everywhere. It's all over the internet. Like it was all over Twitter too. Like it was just fucking straight up videos of him fucking. One of them went viral.
As long as you wasn't paying them, taking money on the side, I don't see no issue. That man was still doing his job. So I had a problem with him about
So,
doing his job.
so here's the thing. Like, even if it was consensual, it still kind of files on the quid pro pro. I think that's what it's called. Quid pro pro. Like, you might, even though like they consider it was like he might have had some type of power or some shit like that, and then he was doing it. It was like I popped up a video. This about the I had other video that explained it further, but this the one I popped up.
By the way, we don't condone adultery over here in this podcast. Uh, it was just an observation because this is some crazy shit for a higher ranking official in a country to do.
Clearly,
This man
I,
committed
I
mass
second that
adultery,
motion.
nigga.
I
clearly,
second that
the
motion.
woman who was sleeping with the husband, wife he was sleeping with, um, clearly they approve this message because this clearly means that they was all in cahoots. For you to know you cheating on your man and still record yourself cheating, like it don't even make sense. Sis.
Oh, material life. You'll be glad to hear that there was a video that surfaced of one of the husbands confronting the wife, and she just breaks down in tears.
This is like the dumbest shit. Well, oh my God.
Now, there is also speculation. This is still developing, of course, but there is speculation that a video has also surfaced of the man's wife. So for context, he has 6 kids with this woman. You feel what I'm saying? He himself already has 6 kids. So his wife, it is now being assumed that there's a sex tape of hers out there.
I don't know. I think I've hit this point in my life where I'm just tired of other people's stuff. Like I got too much stuff going on. Like, I'm exhausted about like caring for like other people's got going on. And you know what I mean? Like I'm just tired. Like it's just too much be going on everywhere else. Just like, bruh, can y'all live y'all life quietly?
Nope.
Nobody wants to live their life quietly no more.
I don't get it. Like, why do everybody want to be seen so bad?
Because we live in a life of look,
I want to live my life quietly. My life is very quiet, but I'm just like,
look,
bro, y'all got too much going on.
look. Like I said, if you could get famous for saying "hawk" to spit on that thing, a lot of people feel like you can get famous for anything.
That's
Like
when I knew, yo, we're cooked.
"hawk" to.
That was it. That was it. She was plucked from obscurity from there, and that's what I'm saying. And, like, and that's why I'll be feeling like the term "no one is coming to save you." You know how people be saying that shit. I'm like, nigga, that's bullshit, bruh. Like, imagine you're like fucking Beyonce or Cardi B or some shit, and you see some cool shit on the internet, and you comment on that shit. Imagine what would happen to that person overnight.
It's like cloud grows quick.
Fucking go viral instantly. Sometimes it just be like that. Sometimes people just get lucky and then just boom, money.
Meanwhile,
Sometimes
we
people
out here
people be
working 8, 10, 12 hours a workday just to
people be
barely pay
searching
rent.
for it. Like, why y'all recording yourself? Y'all so weird. Like, oh, I'm so over society, man. Just people just don't
Just
even
it's.
make sense. Like, why y'all want to be porn stars so bad?
I think that's
I
what it
just
is. I
want you
think
to
some.
know. I just want you to know, material life. There, bruh, on TikTok, there was an African kid in Italy just making a whole bunch of faces and taking his glasses off, and now look, he was fucking red carpets everywhere. That's all it takes sometimes. Just look
K
in the
baby.
camera.
Look, my man K
just,
baby. Yeah.
just look in the camera sometimes, dramatically, and it can happen to you too.
Yeah, but it don't make sense. Like, you're a whole civil servant. Like, do you want to be you want to be famous? Like, you really didn't need to be there that long. I don't know how long he was there. Like, you could have did your 1 year and left. if you wanted to be out here in those streets, being a porn star.
My,
I'm so over society.
I think
At
you
this
you
point.
looking at the dude. I'm looking at the women. The women is just like
Oh
they're
nah,
looking
he
they're
was.
looking into the camera. It's like nothing to
Yeah,
surprise. They're looking into the camera. Some of them adjusting the camera. Some of them
nah,
like
bruh.
some of
Consented,
them
full consent.
it's full consent. So I saw one girl. She her face wasn't in the camera, and she backed them up just so she could get her face in the camera. And I was like, "Yo, what is this?" Like, I would understand if they was like caught off guard, but these women is just like, "Hold on, man, let me get my this side." I was like, "Yo," and the fact that like these are, he wasn't just hitting like he must have had like a vendetta because he was hitting important people. Like he's just like he was like say one wrong thing, I'm gonna fuck your daughter, and he's gonna fuck your daughter. And I think some of these people know too. So it's just like to me, this is a wild story that people just let this go on because I feel like people knew, and then it's just like he's literally African Johnny Sins, except he got one job.
I just fucked your bitch. Just some Gucci flip flops.
Like this nigga is literally fucking women and then just sending them home, and it's just
Well, that's why I'm like, that's why I'm confused as to what's the like. First of all, these women they consent adults. It's not like he just unless he forced them for the like. Let's be honest. Some people want to do a little piece of thing, do something strange for a little piece of change to change their life. So, but he's in the seat. I don't think he needs them to get him in the seat. Did he?
now that nigga can sell his sex tapes on his own. He can make it. He
That
can
man
make
just created an entire catalog.
Yeah.
that nigga got greatest hits, literally.
Nah, for real.
I can't. I don't know about play with y'all today. It don't
Nah,
take
but
Oh,
it
nothing
is so
serious.
ridiculous material. Like you telling me you said it yourself. You a motherfucking civil servant, and you doing it in your office, just in broad
You
daylight
know,
with your
that's not.
ass cheeks out.
It's. I wouldn't expect less of him. To be honest, I wouldn't expect you to be doing it. First of all, let's be honest. People date in workplaces all the time. They sleep together, work. No, 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 let me not say all the time. 'Cause me, it's like when you get in the military, you be like, yeah, that's just common. Sleeping in a twin bed together with no shame. But it's just like, bro, y'all recording, y'all look. That's crazy to me. Like the fact that they recording themselves just blows my mind. That's the part I don't get is them recording themselves. Like we not gonna pretend like people don't be sleeping with each other in the workplace. Like they don't be having you know feelings for each other and then become boyfriend and girlfriend. It's too many stories, too many books written about romance and all that other stuff. But
man,
to
we could
start
write a
recording
whole book
yourself,
on.
I'm like, wow, y'all dumb.
I said first off, me and material like could write a whole book on that from what we seen on deployment.
Exactly.
Like the girl that
Like
got that girl that got pregnant, and then the next day she went and got a plan B.
it, people having sex in porta potties. Like you get it in where you get it in. But it's just like, dude, that's what I'm just. It's just too much. It's like they be want people to be in their business so much, but why do y'all try to put us in it? We was just trying to mind our
Ah,
business.
bruh, I don't know. I feel like he was filming that shit to be petty. He was about to send them shits to people. He's about to be like, hey, look. He's about to blackmail niggas with that shit.
Exactly. It's just, and that's why I'm like, these women gotta be slow. It don't make sense. Like nothing makes sense for you to be. allowing him to record it. I'm like, and you saying they was adjusting cameras and so they was well aware. I'm like, yo, are y'all dumb or y'all dumb?
Yeah, man, they was into it. Like they under investigation too. A lot of them.
Yeah, that honestly, that was the part that surprised me because you would have thought like, oh my god, I didn't know it was there. Nah, them hoes was fixing the camera. Like you can't even set up a lie. I was like, I didn't know, bitch. You set up the camera.
Material life. I'm gonna tell you one of the more trifling ones in the. So there was one that where there was in a bathroom and they was filming. Do you know how? And it was like a pretty like small bathroom too. The camera was literally right there. It is right in her face, and she is looking dead at the motherfucking camera,
Oh my god.
like deliberately.
I'm telling you. Ah, I don't know. I really don't know exactly where the human brain is at. I just don't know no more. Like I'm really thinking that clout, being famous, being a celebrity, um, adrenaline rush of being caught. Like I don't even understand the thing about wanting to be a porn star, like to record yourself having sex with your man. The
The
kinks?
porn, well, back
Well, if you,
then they used to say the reason why you get into porn, you have to really, really, really love sex. Now people just do it just because to pay the rent. Uh, that's
Mm,
why I think that's why I think sex workers are some of the saddest looking women ever because they don't even look like they're into it. They're looking like I'm just fingering myself just so I can pay this rent. So
yeah. It don't make sense.
it's like,
you
bitch,
want
you
to
don't even
know,
enjoy this. How the fuck am I supposed to enjoy this when you can't enjoy this? Oh, ho
to
ho,
be
look at this.
to be honest with you, so my theory, and this is just from everything that I've seen, because I've kind of like had a front row seat with all this, because all of Africa and Twitter's talking about it, of course. So like, so from my perspective, it's he's a so it shows signs of kind of like hypersexuality in the case like I'm considering the fact that he has 6 kids in there with his wife already. They already also found out that 2 other kids are his from outside, uh relations of the women of one of the women that he was, having the sex tape with. So
Gee,
yeah. Not only okay, so not only that, but like the reason why I'm saying hypersexual is because it's over 400 videos of him doing this shit deliberately, right? And to be in the position that you are in as a civil servant, to even risk that in itself shows some kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Addiction or like some kind of like behavior, like someone who really fiends for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't mean no different than someone than a politician doing coke in his motherfucking office because it's that deep. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like how I'm looking at it. Like he's a hypersexual. Like he has this addiction to sex. This is addictive ass behavior right there. And
100.
another thing too about it is he also went behind and did this like right in the face of many people that he's working with, his family members. He's doing this just for the fuck of it. You know what I'm saying? And I think it also speaks to everybody involved even at the same time because it's like so if we're seeing him produce all of these videos, then why are the women so fully consented with it? And then why did that one woman also end her life because the shit leaked? Is there other aspects of the story that we don't know about? So it's developing as we're going on. You know what I'm saying? Like this is literally developing in progress as we speak. So I have more questions than answers right now.
I'm still stuck at the 400. Like, is it 400 within 2 years? Like, I'm confused because that's a lot. Like,
Was he
if
doing
that's
a speed run?
350 per day, like that's a lot of
Oh
sex.
nah, bro. One of the videos was like 9 minutes long. Like these were productions, nigga.
Like, is this like within like the past 5, 10 years? Like, bruh, like how can you be doing it? Like, that's a lot of sex, man.
Oh no,
And
he. I
and
think
I don't even want to question how much he does at home with his wife, but that's a lot.
he got
400
six
videos.
kids.
Yeah, but six. I'm talking about you got to be humping every day.
I'm pretty sure he was up there with Will Chamberlain, just fucking.
I'm like 400 videos. Like how many? Like is that 1 year, 2 years? Like, bro, that's a lot. Like a couple of years. Like that's a lot. And that's not. That doesn't even equate to how many he do with that same woman. Like sometimes he might not want to record. He might not want to bring out the camera. But that's a lot. Like, bruh. Like at this point,
Yo, what if he didn't want to
The
bring
stick
out the
be
camera,
heavy.
and one of them was like, you better bring the camera out. I ain't get my head down for nothing.
That's what I'm saying. I have questions, nigga. He probably didn't want to record that day. She like, bring that motherfucker out. I want to see this.
yeah, she felt like we on her big one. She went the
I just
world.
got my head down for this a special occasion. If you don't press record on that
She came out just for this. This
I
is
wonder, like, if someone did it just to be petty to their husband. Like, that's another question I got. What if
I
someone
think,
did it just to be petty
you know
to their
what, Ray?
husband?
You want to know what I think it is? I think a lot of them were dickmatized because he was dicking them down.
He was digging
Nah,
them
he
down.
was dicking them down, bro. I see why they came back. I'm just saying he was, and you know these are politicians and shit like that. So you know they working all the time. So you know they probably ain't got it like that. But this nigga, he's a unicorn considering their fucking position.
yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying, bro.
I'm mentally done. I can't even. This is I'm too much in the group chat. They need to take me out of it. I don't want nothing to do with these politicians in their group chat. They need to take me out of it. They need to figure out how to do stuff in silence because they want the whole world to be part of their life. We trying to just survive at this point. Take us out of it. Leave us alone.
That's a that's a hell no good buddy. These were oh man. Uh very this was honestly when Dion and father brought this up, I said, yo, this can't be real. And
That's
then when
fine.
you seen this shit, I was just like, oh my god, this shit is real.
Mhm.
Is this
Like,
about dude in Africa?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
that's crazy. Like,
Where the fuck
how
you
does
come
that
from?
get that? Like, figure
Shit.
out, like, people need to learn how to do stuff in private for real, for real. Like, they need to go back to the days of, being afraid of stuff leaking.
Ain't nobody afraid no more. It's like you can't shame. Yeah, that I know people's like you should bring back shame. I said, what's the point when people ain't ashamed of doing anything? It's like
Exactly.
there's literally a dude out there in fucking what South Korea, motherfucker, just picking on people just so he can get his ass whipped.
Damn.
Wait,
I
when
don't know
you
who I'm
said
talking
that?
about.
No,
Nigga,
when you
he
said that, I thought of this video that came out, and I guess it was in Africa. And the guy was asking him, like, "Oh, name something that I guess you don't want people to know." And he says that he sleeps with animals, and people was just like, "Wait, what?"
Well,
Like,
I
why
knew it
would
was.
you tell somebody this? Like, keep that information to yourself.
Well, I know it was over when a homegirl she told the story of how she had a threesome with this dude and his biological mom.
Oh my lord, they should have kept
Oh,
that to
I
themselves.
saw that clip. That was weird.
Kept that in the vault. I'm telling you, people just be wanting us to know information we don't want to know.
It's just-
That's nasty.
that's
Oh,
you
that's so
know
nasty. Ray,
yeah.
let's switch
So
on. That was just nasty. First, oh my god, stop. Let's go to the next topic. That just threw me off. Mm-mm.
Hey, did you mention or did you even see where apparently this dude his wife apparently had something going on the side as well? I don't know if
Yep.
it was to the extent of
Oh,
him, but
you talking about
yeah,
the
apparently
actor?
she was
Yeah.
cheating on him.
so there's a spinoff. It's a spin.
Yeah. Yeah. I just talked about that actually.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Father talked about
Okay.
it.
Oh, okay.
This is season two. It's like Flavor of Love and I Love New York.
Yeah, because I had to friggin' step away real quick.
Okay.
I'm so over
Um,
society at this point.
oh shit.
Mhm.
Oh my god. Um. All right. Final topic. Um. I was gonna play a little bit of this video, not all of it, because it's like 40 minutes long. But I wanted to ask everybody, since we was just like it, um, because and this is kind of going off of the 4B movement, but this is like for at least for the men. And I was gonna ask, in your opinion, what caused the single epidemic? What caused the epidemic of single men?
Do you want to
Um,
know?
Hmm.
My personal opinion is um so this epidemic of single men is an economic problem and a social accountability problem. So it's an economic problem in the sense that in order for men to not be single, they need to have financial stability of some sort, right? They need to be able to support themselves in order to, just to make sure that like anything doesn't bankrupt them or anything doesn't get in the way of building their business and accumulating money to begin with. They can use that income on making sure that there is a shelter, food, and adequate supply of water wherever they reside at, right? And it's also a social accountability issue in the sense that we have a responsibility as a society to provide the opportunities for people to gather those resources in order for us to live life and be contributing members of society at the same time. The opportunity and the infrastructure needs to be there. So if both are missing, then you're not going to have incentive to date or find women or have or make babies because you're constantly going to be chasing that stability. You feel what I'm saying? And that's a lonely endeavor too, especially when you consider the fact that emotional intelligence is kind of stigmatized in this society as well. Men who do cry get stigmatized. Men who are of a higher emotional capacity also get stigmatized and not viewed as real men, so they become social rejects, and then you start to see a lot of the mother, and then these people essentially are the ones that tend to spiral out in society, as you can see, especially when you consider all the school shootings that have happened and shit like that. So when you combine those two kind of narratives and perspectives, I feel like that's what's going on. And, a lot of men simply do not have the language, nor do they have the means to even care about why they should go out and actually give a fuck about dating and finding a wife and getting a home when everything is so fucking expensive and nobody wants to listen when they're losing their minds about it.
Mm.
I like that answer. Dion, what about you?
I mean, I can't really, I can't really say anything after that. There's nothing I can say that
I
ain't
was like,
been
you know, like
that
I
ain't
can't
already been
relate.
said. There's nothing I can say that father didn't just bring up.
You know what's weird, and maybe it's just I might be living in my own world. I didn't think the epidemic was this bad. At
I didn't
least,
know we had an
Well,
epidemic.
the one thing I will say is, can you really call it an epidemic?
yeah,
Well,
there's a
I'm
lot
happy
more.
if it's a single man epidemic. I'm proud. I am so proud of these single men for finally understanding their self worth. God bless America, or God bless the nation. I am
There's,
proud.
there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of men that's kind of like single and lonely, and like a lot of
Not
what father
lonely.
that. Yeah,
Not
yeah, they're
lonely.
considered a lot of them. A lot of them are considered lonely. Yeah,
Are
Because
they
it's
lonely because
like,
they're single, or are they lonely because they just lonely?
might be a little bit of both.
well, my thing is this, right? The reason I'm saying, well, can you really call it an epidemic? Because it's like when you use that word epidemic, you're you're basically speaking about it as if it's like an illness or a disease. When the truth of the matter is, this is something that a lot of guys are doing by choice. Yeah, you have the people who are actively trying to find someone to be with, or you know even taking like the romantic aspect of it, just trying to have some form of a social life, and it's just not working. And then you got the ones who are just actively withdrawing. It it's it's starting to seem, depending on who you ask, it's almost, I don't want to use the term, it's almost like a strike, but that's, you know I'm not even sure if there's another term to really use though.
Like a boycott. You think you want to use boycott, or
Eh,
most people there's
I
men
I
obviously.
guess because it's like, and then and even that feels like kind of a strong word to use in of itself, if we're being all the way real. But yeah,
But
this
oh
is
yeah,
a
yeah.
matter of perspective. This is more about who you ask, especially for the video you sent that first sparked this conversation. Um, a lot of those comments, you can tell by how they answer that question, who's on which side of that line, who wants the social life, who wants to find love, or whatever the case may be, and it's just not finding it, and the ones who are just like, fuck it, and willfully just says, you know what, I'm done.
And like, just like I don't know if we're gonna see it in the video, but most people is just like not just with women, they find it hard to make just friends. Period. Like
Hmm.
even
That's
with
what I
other
said.
dudes, like and not like in a homosexual way, but more or less in a I just want to have friends around. There's a lot of dudes that feel lonely in that aspect as well, where a lot of people feel like they don't have no friends to hang out with, and like I don't know, that gets talked about a lot too.
I
So
mean,
and
but the thing is, Ray, it's kind of hard to do that when you gotta work all the motherfucking time because you don't get paid enough. You
Whew.
feeling what I'm saying? It's gonna be hard to fucking sit there and make friends and be cordial and be happy when you got bills to motherfucking worry about for the next 6 months. And you trying your best to find a new job, but either training is too expensive or it's too out the way.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
And
there's, they limit a lot of people's options when it comes to that.
hmm
So
and
I'm a
then speaking
good.
from my own personal point of view on this subject, um, add to that those who have responsibilities that just don't allow, just really don't allow a social life. You know, for example, men like myself who got kids and shit, or if you go through the comments, or even like um some of like the personal stories mentioned within the video itself, cats who are like taking care of like a sick parent or something like that. Life just life just has a way of kicking your ass.
Okay, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm speaking from a very anomaly point. Like I've done like my grandfather done worked all his life. My father done worked all his life. I seen him hang out. Well, yeah, I seen him hang out with people, and I guess the Navy is different because most of the people you hang out with, you also like friends with. So, and I guess that's what kind of like hinders my view on this whole like loneliness male epidemic because like the Navy people in the Navy they work, but usually they also go out and hang with each other as well. So I figured that other people do that as well, especially the people you work with. Now I understand you don't hang out with everybody you don't work with, but like even in my new job, like people come up and talk to me, and I was just like, I guess it's just I'm approachable, I guess, but I never had that problem. Like I've never had that problem making friends or like starting a conversation. Like I said, people just come up and talk to me about random stuff. Now I consider that a gift or curse because like I think I've said this. Like I've had people that